Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pack here, and so I'm gonna be showcasing my Altergeist deck profile. It's the most updated one since like the PPG and the Las Vegas 3v3 YCS. I also have a YouTube channel, so just follow in the link below. Anyways, without further ado, here we go. One multi-figure, 3 green, 3 blue, 2 silk, 1 concurry. Standard lineup, nothing different from any other Altergeist list. Hand traps, 2 DD Crow, 3 Imperm, and then 3 Ash. I would just say DD Crow has been a meta call. I'm still contemplating whether or not I want to keep it, but it hits a lot of like the meta decks right now. Spiral is like really good, hit the Master Plan. In the Luna deck, it hits like the Yellow Martin. Sometimes you want to hit Shotgun and hit the Perfume too, so you don't give them access to their Tiger. Against the mirror, it's also like pretty solid. Overall, I like it. Oh, the other cool interaction with this is, let's say you link Molseek off into Karibo, and they go Call by the Grave. You can actually chain DD Crow and banish it first before they get to banish your card, which means they won't get negated and you still get the search. So that's another like cool interaction you can do with DD Crow. So yeah. Consistency wise, you want to play 3 Extravagance, and then 2 Duality. Dazif played 1 Duality, 1 for 1. That's also something you can consider, because like you're playing 1 Duality, and so it shouldn't conflict. Or drawing both wouldn't be as likely. But yeah, nothing much to say about this. I might cut both of these for 1 for 1. I don't know, and play more hand traps just to play around like blowout cards like Lightning Storm and Evenly. But yeah, that's still in testing. For the Altergeist trap lineup, I played 2 Protocol, 2 Manifestation, and then 1 Haunted Rock. Most people know what Protocol does, and most people know what Manifestation does, but Haunted Rock is like the tech that I've been playing in because it's absolutely insane. Going first, if you open up Mario plus Faker, that's like a turn 1 Hexia, which means you play around Lightning Storm and you play around evenly. So, and of course, like you're playing against the deck that you requires like spells or traps to like go off, like Silent Mining or anything like that. Being able to negate that is like super plus. If you open up Mario, Faker, and any other Altergeist monster, you end up on double Hexia. So that's just like game. And also Haunted Rock negates trap cards, so that's also a cool interaction. The other honorary Altergeist trap card is Personal Spoofing. If it said Altergeist, obviously this would be like the best deck, like no brainer. But thankfully it doesn't, because that would be too broken. Spoofing is insane. It's like one of those consistency cards you need to have. Even though Haunted Rock is quote unquote a brick, you can actually just spoof it away, so it's never really an issue. And Haunted Rock isn't sometimes a brick because they don't expect you to negate their Imperm or to like negate like one of their trap cards. So it's pretty solid. In terms of like the Solemn Brigade, you play 3 Judgment and then 3 Strike. Not much to say about this. Overall, just like they just perform the best and they hit literally everything. So yeah, they're absolutely insane, I would say. And then you play the tech. I would say 2 anti-spell and 1 IO. So ever since Lightning Storm got introduced into the meta, it's in literally everyone's side deck. You check like the top 16 players, or like the top 16 of 3v3 YCS, it was in I think literally 90% of all the side decks. And if they didn't have it, it's because like they just like didn't have access to it in terms of affordability. But overall, you have to play anti-spell because in the standby phase, by shotgunning this, they can't Lightning Storm you. And it also has other applications because against every meta deck right now, it's like starting off with Salad. Like they can't Silent Mining, they have to hard draw Circle. And even if they link off into Balinks, they can't activate the field spell, which means they can't go into reincarnation plays. Or if they do, it's like really tough and they have to commit to a lot of resources while also being mindful of like your entire back row. Against Lunalight, they can't activate Tiger, they can't activate Perfume, they can't activate like Foolish Burial. So this is just like game. Against like Spiral, it's like super game because they can't activate Big Red, can't activate Resort, they can't activate Monster Reborn. They can't activate Where Art Thou, and a lot of their quote unquote consistency cards are spells. So anti-spell is like insane. Against what else? Against Guru, it actually comes up a lot because they can't Extravagance and then they don't get access to their field spell, which is one of their key consistency piece. And then IO is like a pseudo anti-spell. It's nice because it lets you negate the Twin Twister, the Cosmic, and which is why IO is like in there too. But yeah. And now that's pretty much it. So now we'll move on to the extra deck. For the extra deck, play triple Hexia. I mean, these cards just was like an OTK machine. Yeah, banishing two actually hurts because it stops you from killing them. But whenever you have two, it usually means you can game them. Then you play the 2 Prime Banshee, which not a lot of people play, but what it does is it lets you recycle your Faker. And instead of relinking, people usually relink Hexia into another Hexia. When you relink the Prime Banshee, the Hexia into another Prime Banshee, and link the Prime Banshee into a Hexia, it lets you +2. And advantage is like really important in a control deck, so I like this card a lot. Also, Prime Banshee literally says get access to any Altergeist monster in your deck because it contribute for cost and special summon either a negate, which is Concurry, which is what I did in the PPG, is I would summon Concurry and negate the field spell, or you can just summon the Silk, tribute the Melee Seek, and get like +2 off that. So this card is really insane. Then you play like the standard lineup. Most people play 2 Amaraj and 3 Karibo. I don't necessarily find myself needing more than 4 to like trigger Melee Seek. Amaraj comes up for the Soliloquist, but what's super important is you have to realize that because Shaddoll is like super popular in the meta, and if you go to like any big event, you'll find like at least like 3 Shaddolls of a 10-round tournament. Is when you link the Melee Seek into the Karibo or the the Soliloquist into the Amaraj, you are vulnerable to 2 things: Phantasme, and you're vulnerable against Shaddoll Fusion. And Phantasme literally destroys your deck because you can't target with Melee Seek, and Silk can't bounce. If you can, but like it would just get negated unless you like hard draw Protocol if you're nice. But so sometimes like you actually don't link off the Melee Seek. You actually just set it and have them beat it so that you can damage step search. Because if you link it off and they ask you and you don't have a follow play, you like lose to an Ash too. So these cards are like, it's okay. You can just play it at 4. Utility links. You play Phoenix and Unicorn. There's just like spot removal for like back row and Unicorn. So there's just like spins, which doesn't destroy, so that's nice. There's not much to say about this. And then for like the higher links, you play this also for spot removal. A lot of cards can't be targeted and or destroyed. Is like really hard for us to out. So for example, like the Big Endymion with a counter on is like really hard for us to out. So you have to make this. And if they make an Avermax with a IP, it's also really hard for us to out. So to combat that, you play 2 Link 4 so that you get over that. The Ningirsu is nice because Ningirsu can like send like one of your traps and then you can recycle it with Silk. Or you can go, the other thing is Ningirsu lets you go into Avermax if you have a Link Kuriboh in the grave, because you can normal Melee Seek, use the graveyard effect of Link Kuriboh, and then all of a sudden like you have two like a Link 4 play, so that'd be pretty good. And then just 1 Ultimate Falcon, which you can probably guess I play Waking the Dragon in my side deck. So 3 Spear Mode for the side deck, and then 3 Nibiru, so like 6 balls. I like Nibiru because I respect the Salad matchup. I feel like it's actually one of the hardest matchup for our deck. Just because Rage is like insane. Pop 2 on the end phase and constantly recycling is really hard. And if you think about like the nature of Salad, it's actually a control deck now. It's basically a trap deck if you really think about it, and plays a bunch of hand traps rather than like a deck that can kill you. And so, but Nibiru like stops him from getting to like the trap and like a lot of resources. So that's why you have to play it, just to respect that matchup. Also, like it's really good against Dragon Link, the deck that Xu Ping made pretty popular in the meta. And then the Spear Mode is something that I'm still contemplating whether I want to keep playing, but it's nice because you can actually see this card through Duality and summon it. The reason why you don't play, like, for example, Lava Golem or Kaijus is because if you go Extravagance and Duality, you can't special summon. So this is considered a normal summon. So this is, like, the only reason why you would play Spear Mode over those 2 cards. The Duality locks you. You play 3 Waking the Dragon. This card is insane. One of the interactions that happened at the YCS was I had a set Protocol and a Waking. Those were my only 2 sets. I had a Mole Seek, which was linked into a Karibo. And so he went Standby Phase, Twin Twister both my cards. I chained Protocol. And so, of course, he popped both of them. And on Resolution, I was able to go Chainlink 1, Waking the Dragon, Chainlink 2, Multi-Faker from my hand. So basically blocking the Waking the Dragon. And so Chainlink 2 would resolve summoning Faker from my hand. And Chainlink 1 would resolve, which would summon Hexia. And so I automatically had a Hexia Faker. And then on a new chain, Faker would summon a Soliloquist. So I was like, that was just like insane play that you can do. Most people overvalue the Falcon. I think like summoning Hexia or summoning Faker from the deck through Awakening Dragon is actually like a lot better. Obviously, like if you think they don't have an out to Falcon, then just summon the Falcon and just like kind of cheese them. But more often than not, I find myself making Hexia or Summoning Faker through Waking the Dragon, which is why I like this card. And of course, like 3 Evenly. I used to main deck this. I realized the only reason I stopped is because I started playing more hand traps like DD Crows and like a bunch of other like anti-spell fragrance. I realized that like Evenly Match is really good because it can just like wipe the entire board. But if you look at like Spiral boards and like Dragon Link boards, they usually have one Savage Dragon which will negate the one Evenly, or they'll have the Trigate, which will negate the one Evenly. So you need to draw like either Imperm Evenly or like Ash Evenly, which stops them from making your full board. But then I thought to myself, instead of maining Evenly, just side it, because if you play DD Crow and you time it correctly, they're passing on like a mediocre board anyways, and at that point you don't need Evenly. A Meluseek is enough to clear the board and just generate advantage for you. So yeah, that's the only reason. I might consider maining it again. I don't know. Still, it's like a meta call really. And then okay, the 2 Duster, and that's just to respect like the back row matchup. It also respects like the doll matchup too, because when you anti-spell them and they set their like spells, you just Duster them, and then yeah, you usually win the game from there. Shaddoll is usually free anyways because you don't really special summon, although like you can. Like a Meluseek clears the window, so it's like pretty good. And then of course the last anti-spell, just is like you want to see it going first. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for tuning in and watching this deck profile. Be sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next one.